special Friday morning acoustic rig rundown. Joe's Guitars. What I got here is a very special and unique instrument. Only one in the world, really. This is an acoustic guitar that I built with probably 7-8 years ago now. I built this with Loucin Acoustic from Loucin Guitars. He's a high school buddy and lives in Oakville. And he's built guitars for Zach Wild, Alex Lifeson, Serge Tankanen, and the list goes on. So highly respected, beautiful instruments, all hand built. I don't know how many he builds a year, but if you give him enough money, he'll help you build one. I'll tag Garen in this video so you can track him down if you want to do the same. From a cost perspective, this is probably my most expensive guitar. It's not the one I play the most, but I certainly love owning it. And it comes in a case, it's custom built, and it comes in a custom case that tweed, beautiful case. The case is almost as nice as the guitar. So I'll tell you a little bit about this guitar, and I could talk about it for an awful long time, but I'm going to try to limit it because I'm having problems uploading these videos because Facebook and Instagram like shorter videos, I guess. I do throw these up on my YouTube channel as well, which is Rock Chef. So I'll tell you a bit about this guitar. First of all, the top here is made out of Sitka spruce, and it's got a bear claw pattern on it. If you look closely, you can see that it looks like it's been clawed. And it's a British Columbia Sitka spruce. Beautiful wood. The sides and the back are made from African babinga wood, which is kind of a red wood with a tight grain. It's got a 5-piece mahogany neck, inlay down the back. As far as woods go, I guess I'll stick with the woods. I got ebony binding, ebony Martin style pyramid bridge, handmade that. The neck is of, as I said, mahogany, and it has an ebony fingerboard with binding up the fingerboard in babinga, yellow pear, and some black, white, black, I guess. Here's an ebony headstock cover and 2 ebony stripes down the back of the neck in the middle, making it 5 pieces. Also around the headstock is a yellow pear binding. It's pretty neat. So that's the wood on this guitar. Also some ebony and yellow pear on the back there. So what's really amazing about this guitar is actually what's inside. So as beautiful as it is, the inside is just as beautiful. It's all hand shaped and sanded bracing that's fastened to the top and the bottom actually. The bottom of the back of this guitar is not just flat, it's kind of got a convex curve to it that you can't really see, but it certainly is beautiful and requires some extra work. As far as the guitar itself goes, when I was looking to build something, I wanted something smaller. I didn't want the big dreadnought guitar. I wanted, you know, the Ian Anderson, Jethro Tull style, kind of a small acoustic, and that's kind of what I got here. So it's called an OM model, for orchestra model. Think about the, you know, the 40s when they were doing the that orchestra. Jack Benny or whoever that was, Benny Goodman maybe? Oh God, I'm way off. As far as all the parts on this guitar, you know, making it was took over a year, almost 2 years. I think I did it on weekends and occasional days off. You can build a very basic guitar at a very reasonable price with Garen. However, I ended up kind of going down the rabbit hole and kind of beefed up everything. So I'll tell you some of the extra things that I've done on here is, of course, Garen's guitar has he has a very kind of like a copyrighted style bridge that he does, and same with the headstock. I wanted to do something a little different myself, so I got a Martin style headstock that I built on this, and I also did the Martin style bridge. As far as extras go, this Martin style bridge is all handmade, and it's got a pyramid to it. If you can kind of see there, it's beautiful, love it. And these string pins are made out of buffalo horn with 14 karat gold and what's that stuff? Abalone and gold pins. And this bridge here that is elephant bone actually, and it's super, super hard. You wouldn't believe that little piece is heavy. It's got the weight of like mercury. The rosette around here is made out of abalone as well. And there is some black purfling, I guess it's called, surrounding that. And of course, there's more purfling around here, the black ebony binding. When you get up here, this is also elephant bone. That nut up there is elephant bone. And probably the most notable thing on this guitar that most people notice right away is the inlay work. So this is the headstock. That's actually a picture of Bon, my son, when he was about 7 years old. He used to wear a mohawk quite a bit, and I always loved that on him. And so I had this photograph of him, and I thought that would be great right at the top of the headstock. So I ended up, and that's my signature. I ended up finding some birds. I ended up finding a guy online named Larry Robinson, who's world famous inlay artist. He did the millionth Martin guitar. He's done guitars for Keith Richards, Paul McCartney, you name it. He's done them all. And he was a famous inlay artist from the 70s. He used to work for a company called Almbiac basses, these big oversized basses. If you see early footage of Fleetwood Mac, that's an Almbiac bass. And he did all the inlay work and so forth on that. And I managed to track this guy down, and I told him what I wanted to do. And he was like, sure, send me a piece of ebony for your headstock and a pattern of what you want. So I made the pattern, I sent it to him, and some money. And I got this back 5 weeks later, and the intricacy of the work on this is insane. It looks perfect, and it's all done by hand. So I'm very proud to have a Larry Robinson crafted headstock on this guitar. Inside of this guitar, it was, when I built this, I thought it would be something I would leave my son upon my death, my pending death. And so there's an inscription on the back of this wood right here. It's written in Sharpie right here, a little message to my son. Although he doesn't really have much interest in guitars these days, but maybe I'm crossing my fingers he will. It's also a volute on this guitar. You see this here, right here? You really only find that on a really high-end acoustic. And what that is this is the weakest spot on the neck, really. And that prevents breakage. Plus, it feels really nice in your hand when you're holding on to it like that, you know. Fits beautifully and feels great in the hand. So anyway, oops, sorry about that. So anyway, that's the big acoustic show. One more in the collection that'll come up sometime soon, but this is the guitar that stays in the case. You guys have a great Friday, and looking forward to the next update. I think it's going to be a little more rock and roll than this one. Have a good day.